Are you writing a book? Do you want it to be terrible? You clicked on the right video. This is how to quickly ruin your book in 10 simple steps. 1. Never trust your reader. People who read books are idiots. To get anything through their redwood-thick skulls requires all the subtlety and finesse of a bunker-busting missile. Instead of letting them figure out a character's motivations, make that character say it out loud in every scene. Don't let readers piece together clues. Hand them the answers on a silver platter, then point a dozen neon arrows to the platter to make sure they get the message. Repeatedly beat them over the head with information they already know. Set up twists obvious enough a baby can see them coming. You'll still fool almost all your readers. Instead of subtly weaving themes into your story, use your characters as mouthpieces to spout oversimplified platitudes. The whole point of writing a book, as any author can tell you, is to flaunt your intellectual superiority over the masses. Compared to your complex and magnificent mind, your readers are simple and smooth-brained. Remind them of that on every page. 2. Be a puppet master. None of your characters should have agency. Your protagonist, in particular, should be utterly passive, as ambitious and action-oriented as a dead leaf. No goals, no plans, no desires. Your readers should see you pulling the strings. Don't let them suspend their disbelief for a moment. Immersion is to be avoided. Every conversation should feel engineered, every conflict contrived. You want readers to see your fingerprints on everything, like you're a clumsy criminal loose in a paint store. The seams of your world should be visible. Establish rules and then immediately break them for no reason at all. Employ so many deus ex machinas that your readers lose count. Give a character godlike powers for one scene just to get them out of a sticky situation. Don't hint at any rich history or internal lives of minor characters. Everything should serve the plot in the most straightforward way possible. 3. Do everything. Creative constraints are for the weak. Write this book like it's the last thing you'll ever make. Cram every idea you've ever had into its pages, no matter how inane or irrelevant. Pull from your weirdest dreams, your most incoherent 3 a.m. thoughts, your earliest childhood scribblings. Treat your manuscript like a landfill. Your aim is to dump as much garbage in there as possible with no rhyme or reason. Why choose a genre or tone when you can include them all? Your comedic, romantic, dystopian, historical, semi-autobiographical, sci-fi horror epic will have something for everyone. Just like any kind of construction project, you should aim to use every tool in your toolkit, no matter how ill-suited to the task. Switch mid-paragraph between first, second, and third-person perspectives. Flip a coin to decide which tense every chapter should be in. Employ every writing technique you've ever heard of. Keep your reader on their toes by making it perpetually unclear who your protagonist is, where anything's going, and why you thought it was a good idea to write a book. 4. Pull out a thesaurus. Why write a book if you don't get to show off your wide-ranging vocabulary? Don't worry if you've never read a book in your life. You don't need a vast vocabulary to show off. That's what dictionaries are for. Understandable prose is basic. Your words should be so obscure, so archaic, that a diligent reader will have to spend more time looking up meanings than reading the text. It's not just about the impenetrable, abstruse quality of your words, but the quantity of them too. Your sentences should be mostly adjectives and adverbs. Short sentences are for the feeble-minded. You want to prove you're a real writer? Show your readers just how many synonyms you know, how extensive your repertoire of redundant locutions, how inexhaustible your arsenal of semantic doppelgangers. I could go on. 5. Track nothing. You know how they say you should lose yourself in writing? What that really means is that you should lose the threads of the story you're telling as you're writing it. Let yourself forget major plot points, even entire characters. Did you kill off a side character only to accidentally write them into a later scene? Don't bother fixing it. You're adding layers to your book. Introduce mysteries without coming up with answers. If readers complain about the loose ends, remember to remind them they're stupid. You are a literary genius whose work only higher minds can understand. Never mind that you don't understand it yourself. Setup and payoff is an overrated technique. Readers love it when you set something up only to completely abandon it later on. End chapters on cliffhangers, then never resolve them. Stick your characters in tricky situations, then jump forward in time without explaining how they got out. Abandon and restart character arcs at random. You should approach each scene like you're starting from scratch. If readers start asking if you have amnesia, you're on the right track. 6. Only write about yourself. All your characters should be shameless self-inserts. Make your protagonist act, think, and talk just like you do. Your antagonist should be pretty much the same, only with a few beliefs that are the inverse of your own, which should be exaggerated to the point of caricature. Making your characters carbon copies of yourself isn't just easy, it's also a great way to eliminate any interesting interpersonal conflict. All the good guys believe exactly what you believe, and all the bad guys believe the opposite. See, storytelling's not hard. Let's face it. You're the most fascinating, talented, charismatic, and good-looking person you've ever met. Why would you bother trying to imagine anyone else? Why try to put yourself in someone else's shoes when you're perfectly comfortable in your own? 7. Drag out every scene. Pacing is important. Make your books thoroughly awkward. Start every scene as early as possible. Don't just write about your protagonist entering the room where the action happens, but every step that led them there, back to waking up in the morning. Your reader needs to see, in detail, how your characters get from one scene to the next. After all, their minds simply can't handle object permanence or nonlinear storytelling. Your scenes should also end as late as possible. Don't go out with a bang, but with an extended, boring, and anticlimactic whimper. If your readers consistently fall asleep before reaching the end of a chapter, you're on the right path. 8. Don't have fun. Writing fiction is a serious craft that must be taken very seriously. I'm serious. There is nothing more consequential or hallowed than the act of making imaginary people do imaginary things with words on a page. The creative process must be approached with the solemnity of a funeral. If you're enjoying it, you're doing it wrong. Some people will tell you that creativity and imagination are childlike qualities, but they're wrong. I'm an adult, gosh darn it, and writing made-up stories is a very grown-up thing to do. There's nothing fun about it. I hate my life, and you should too. Your dour attitude toward the craft should seep through the pages, your misery infecting your readers. They may want to jump off a cliff after slogging through your book, but at least they'll think you're a serious artist. If you follow these 10 tips, you'll soon be positively drowning in 1-star reviews. You're welcome. We've only just scratched the surface of how you can write a terrible book. Watch this next to learn all about the subtle art of writing awful dialogue.